But I would want to know, how did you know about St. Paul's? Because that is our main objective here as a department. We ensure that we market the university, and we always strive to ensure that we get to know how we get to know about St. Paul's University. I'm sure you didn't just see the name St. Paul's in your students' portal when you're choosing a university, and you chose to come here. Or for the self-sponsored, I'm sure you didn't just wake up and decide you got St. Paul's. There must be that one reason that you chose to study at St. Paul's University. So these are some of the areas. Maybe you could be falling in one of these categories, either from SQ students or alumni. There could be a referral, and especially for the self-sponsored students. There could be a family member who told you got St. Paul's University because they either went through here or they know and they recommended you to come here because of the quality and the service that we offer. Either you saw St. Paul's through advertising or through the radio, newspaper advert, or even through the magazine. We produce magazines, and maybe you may have come across it, and you decided you would join St. Paul's University. Maybe you came across St. Paul's the first time when you came to your church for marketing or high school visits. We do high school visits. So those are some of the avenues that we usually use. Marketing tents or neighborhood. We usually go and pitch tents in the towns. Maybe you saw St. Paul's near your town. Or billboards, flyers, or side banners. We have branded St. Paul's, even on the road. You go to a bridge and you find there is a banner there. You go and find a billboard somewhere, and maybe that is the first time you came across St. Paul's. Or through our website, or through the social media accounts that you logged in and you saw St. Paul's. So any of these or any other, maybe you have unique ways, feel welcome St. Paul's University. And I'm sure maybe before you finish your term here, you have also let another person know about St. Paul's and what we offer. Main campus offices, we are all here at the main campus. And our offices are in that building, the postgraduate center, right on your right-hand side at the gate. Ground floor, you will get the public relations and marketing department there. The others are buildings, and you'll be told where the central administration block is and where, or this building, where it is. If we move on to the next slide, I will introduce you quickly to the staff in the department. I head the department, and I work with colleagues there. I have Bahati, who spoke before me, and I have Kevin. Kevin, you can raise up your head where you are. Kevin is there on that head. We have Judith. Judith works at the front office, Judith Macau. And then we have Maureen Yakairo, who works at the call center. And I'm sure you may have interacted with her. And then we have Rita Kitui, who is a staff in social media and online pages. And then I want to also introduce you to the other campuses, because once you become a student at St. Paul's University and you have your student ID, which I know you will get within the next 1 or 2 weeks, you can be able to access our facilities from any of our other campuses, Nairobi campus, Nakuru campus, or Machakos campus. So that is the building for our Nairobi campus. It's called St. Paul's University Nairobi campus. We are located at Church House Building. Church House Building is along Moi Avenue as you get in towards railway station. I'm sure most of you may be knowing where we are. And the whole of that building is for St. Paul's University. Some staff that you can interact when you go there. John Gesholo is in marketing department. We have Pauline Kabashia, who is also in marketing at the reception. Ruth Murodhi at the reception. And then we get into Nakuru campus. That is our Nakuru campus. We are located adjacent to ACK Cathedral or Odinga Road. When you are going to Aflaha Stadium, you will see St. Paul's University onto your right. And that is the building. We have staff there, Augustine Gige, a marketing assistant there, and we also have Shadrach Law. If you get there, they are able to help you. You go to Machakos campus, that is our building in Machakos. And when you get there, we are just as you get into the Machakos town, next to ACK All Souls Cathedral. That is where we are. And you get Joseph Moroti there. He is the one, I know now we have Lydia, another lady called Lydia, and she should be able to help you. Our main objective, I will learn quickly, is to grow the university through well-structured publicity and marketing efforts and contribute in fulfilling the university's vision and mission. I'm sure after this you'll be told about our vision. Maybe you may have come across it, our vision and mission. So in our department, we ensure that we grow the university numbers so that we are able to grow them in line with the university vision and mission. The second one is to create among our publics a good understanding of SPU that will lead to enhance university image and increase our competitiveness. So we have to ensure that the university is well known out there. Just the same way you came to know about St. Paul's and you decided to join us. So that is one of our objectives again. Functions, other functions is customer care. As I earlier said, we are in charge of customer care and also relations and experiences. We would want you to have the best experience of SPU when you are here. So every time that you have feedback to give, we usually operate an open door policy. Feel free to come and give us feedback. May it be through emails, may it be you want to interact with our staff, anytime feel free to come and do that. Then we have internal publicity. I had talked about this. External publicity, we take care of ensuring that we have favorable relations with our churches, the media, business enterprises, government institutions, and any other partners out there. Market SPU, academic and co-curricular activities, and then blooding of SPU, promote SPU on social media platforms, and we also ensure that you get through the admission process. Other activities that our department is in charge of is events planning, very much involved in graduation, cultural week, sports day, and you'll get to know these events as we continue. Publications, we usually publicize or prepare annual university magazine, and also we ensure that our website and social media accounts are well managed. Publicity materials, ensuring that the university has enough materials, the banners, posters, umbrellas, t-shirts, marks and bylaws and books, so that we can be able to ensure that we are well represented there. And at this point, I can mention at some point, next semester, you are also going to get your graded items. I expected to hear a clap there. Are we together? Yes, you are going to get your graded items. You're going to get a t-shirt and at least an exercise book and at least a graded pen. And we are ensuring that you also become part and parcel of our marketing team so that when you're graded, if we meet with you outside there and you are with your SPU graded t-shirt, don't be surprised if I call you and even add you another one, courtesy of our Vice Chancellor. Are we together? So I hope you are going to wear it when you get it. Are we together? Yes, thank you so much. We also participate in marketing exhibitions in different places, as I had earlier said. Moving on, we have how you can be part of the team. I said we work as a team, and we invite all of you to be part of that team. Be a great SPU ambassador. And there is no way you can be a great SPU ambassador if you don't conduct yourself well as a student, as an ambassador of SPU. So recommend SPU to as many people as possible so that they can also be able to enroll and benefit as you are going to benefit. Connect us with your churches. We usually welcome this. May it be your church, your school. We will be glad to go there and talk to them about St. Paul's University. Participate in activities that market SPU. We have a PR and marketing team of students, a team comprising of students. And we don't choose only those who are taking PR or marketing. We choose students, those who show interest. Even if you are doing Divinity, you are doing IT, and you would want to be part of the students who are participating in PR and marketing activities, show interest, and you'll be oriented and be part of it. Participate in sports, cultural week, and that is where you grow. You'll be taught and you'll come to see that some of us and some of the other staff, they started as leaders in some of these activities. And later on, they were even absorbed by the university. Moving on, event planning, graduation ceremony, we would want to see you go to this level. We wouldn't want to hear or to see any of you drop before you get into graduation. So whatever it takes you, I'm sure that is what has brought you here to live here a transformed person by getting all the way up to graduation. Some of other events we organize with the Dean of Students Department, they are there. I want to move with speed now. Cultural Week, you'll get to know more about this. Like this is a career talk. This is one of the high schools that we invited here so that they can come and learn more. By the time they finish, they are able to join us because they know the services that we offer. Some of the events for career fair, if we can move on. Yes, there. For international students, I don't know whether we have any here, but I know I interacted with a few, and especially the self-sponsored students. For international students, I know we have students from more than or close to 20 different countries. So don't feel left out. Know that you're in the right place. In case you need any help, you'll be directed to the department that can help you to sort out the international issues. Graduation levels, you'll come to realize that we offer all the way up to PhD levels. So in case right now you have been admitted here, like majority of you, to study at a graduate program, you can proceed to the master's program and all the way up to PhD level. So by the time you are finishing your studies at the undergraduate level, you have that opportunity to continue with us and do the master's and the other programs. Why study at SPU? I'm sure you have come across all this as I started saying. Maybe it's because of the holistic education that we offer. Maybe because of the relevant course that you found is being offered at SPU, or because of the quality education or quality facilities that you came across with. Ensure that you take advantage of this and benefit from all of them. Let's go on to the next one. Let's communicate. Key, as I said at the beginning, communication, communication, communication. We value your feedback. Call us, email us, use the suggestion boxes that are provided, and we will be able to respond to you. If you are on social media, which I believe, are you all on Facebook? Let me see by a show of hands. Those who are on Facebook? No, you can't say that you're not on Facebook. I know. Let me see. You are on Instagram. Now, if you're on social media, please like our pages. We have a Facebook account, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, LinkedIn, G+, and even visit our blog and read what we have posted there. So, and that is going to help us to communicate and getting updated of what to do. Our official communication channel is through SPU email. I'm sure all of you by now, you have your SPU account. Ensure that you access it. If not, on a daily basis, don't take 2 days. You are a student, so you have a lot of time. We have Wi-Fi, you have internet. Please access your account so that you are able to access important information. Also use the following. Ensure you visit our website. You will be able to access a lot of information there. www.spu.ac.ke. Bulk SMS, that is what we have been using since you enrolled. How many of you received an SMS today as early as 6:17? Did you receive an SMS? Let me see the show card. Yeah, that is because we have your numbers. In case you happen to change your mobile number, ensure you update the same on your students portal. It helps us to make a quick communication to all of you. So in case you happen to change, ensure you as well update into your students portal. We put also important updates online, as I've said, on the website. Email, we use the PRO one. It's very easy, you can be able to get it even now. pro@spu.ac.ke. You will be able to reach out to us. Those contacts, I'm sure most of you have the very first one, the 0701, 079, 406. The others, as I earlier said, in case you need our support or our help from the other campuses, you can as well have them. The numbers are the same, the difference is the last digit or the last number. So you can have them in case you are on those regions and you want to access, you can call and you'll be able to be helped. So we are glad to serve you. And once again, we welcome you to St. Paul's University. You make the right choice, joining St. Paul's University. Thank you for trusting us with your academic journey. And we will ensure that we deliver, as you will be told by all the other presenters. I would want to stop there because I can see our Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic is here. He will be the one who is coming next to present. But let me hand over back to Bahati. I'm not sure whether Melab is able to connect us online, but you can take over. Thank you.
Wow, Makofi's Michael Mungai. Amazing. Thank you, Mr. Mungai. You always give such amazing advice and your presentation so clear. Karibuni, karibuni. I'm sure you feel very welcome, don't you? Yeah? Don't you? You must, because we love you and we are glad that you're here to study with us. You're going to come out better than when you walked in through those gates. And we are here to serve you. Please keep remembering that. I have an announcement here. Please pick up your slip. This is for BSc LMR 134-9221. Your name is not on the slip, but you might need this information. Please come and pick it. It was left to us by the guard. All right. Arthur, your very student chaplain is very concerned about this. Please come and pick it up from me. You need it to access your student account. So thank you very much. I was just standing in for Mr. Kilienye, Reverend Kilienye, who will be taking over the MC job of this event as the Dean of Students representative. But we are glad once again that you chose or you are chosen to be at St. Paul's University. So remember, your stay here depends on you, the kind of choices that you're making, okay? From this day hence, remember the choices you make, they make you or they break you. We are here to assist you in the journey. We've gone through this process. We love you. We understand when you're confused. Please come and talk to us. Call us and let us know where you are at and how we can make you stay here better. I'm going to take this opportunity to give Reverend Kiwele to take it up from here and invite our Deputy Vice Chancellor.
Thank you very much. Let us appreciate Madam Bahati. Now, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Ngure, and the Dean Faculty of Business, and the HOD in the same faculty, Dr. Wanjiku, Bona Michael, and the rest of the staff members who are here, and our esteemed students. We started this journey on Monday. Na hii safari imesonga. Ama namna gani? Of course, we've had our own share of challenges. We have sorted them together. And I can tell you, I can promise you this, by the end of this session by the DVC, you will want to drop your mask and show us your smile. But we will not allow you because of the protocols, COVID-19 protocols. We will get there. We have, Prof, we have several venues where students are seated following this orientation. We have a group in the hall where projection is, and we have space set out in Bishop Magwa, room 6, where space is also set out for them to sit down. And we have, of course, others following from outside because we have live streaming. We had a challenge with the live streaming earlier, and we even now know that those who are trying to access it with their personal emails are not able to follow. But that is the reason why we have set up those stations for them to be able to follow. So those who have set up their SPU emails are able to follow the live stream. And so if you have not done that as a student, from wherever you are, just set up your email. We know there is also a challenge with setting up those emails, and we will sort this out step by step, and we will get there. So we are grateful. We have started this orientation. We started by the chaplaincy. They've done their part. We are followed by the PRMO, Bwana Michael Mungai, who has just finished. And now, this is a very important session. This is the session that welcomes you now to get to understand and know and have a feel of who St. Paul's University really is. And we are grateful, even honored, to have Professor Ngure with us, who is the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs in this university. So when I say help me invite, you clap once, not twice. Are we together? And as sababu mmejifunika sana siwaoni mnajificha. But when I say help me, help me welcome, you just clap once. Sawa sawa. So help me invite. Sasa hiyo sikia. Ta 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 ta. Moja, synchronized. Help me invite. Help me invite Professor Ngure. Karibu sana. Let us appreciate him as he comes. Karibu Prof.
Thank you very much, Reverend Kelly, and the PR was Mr. Michael and Dr. Wanjiko, and the people manning of this presentation is to explain to you how this university is structured. But before we go to the nitty-gritties, allow me at this point to congratulate you very, very warmly for performing very, very well in your KCSE and for choosing one of the best universities in this country, St. Paul's University. If for any reason you were not happy with the grade that you got at Form 4, this is the point where you should be able to put that negative emotion aside, because this is a fresh start. Whether you are admitted to undertake a certificate program, a diploma program, a degree program, masters of PhD, you are in the right place. So congratulations again for doing well and qualifying. Those of you who are government sponsored, would wish also to extend our gratitude to the government of Kenya for either placing you here or, better still, for you having the grace to choose St. Paul's University. I'm sure that you'll have one of the best university experience as you work with us for the next 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, according to the program that you're registered in. I know we come from different counties. Last year when we were admitting the students, at some point I wanted to engage with Michael to be able to go and meet students from what I thought were hotspots in a university that I taught before. The students mainly came from Nairobi and a few other counties, but when I checked with Michael, there's no hotspot as such for St. Paul's. Our students by last year were coming from slightly over 30 different counties. I think that's the most heterogeneous university society that we have around. So I'm mentioning that so that you can start thinking about your journey and appreciating others. If you went to nursery school, primary school in Kiambu,
you probably know how Kikuyus behave. So while at St. Paul's, you'll be able to meet and interact with many others. Now allow me to go to my presentation, and my presentation is in two parts. The first part really is to update you on what this university is about, our history, our different faculties, directorates, etc. Then at the tail end, I'll take 10 to 15 minutes to share a few words of wisdom. I'm sure those of you joining us on site in Limuru campus must by now have noted that building. What is the name of that building? It's not labeled yet. For the new students, this is the Joshua and Timothy School of Theology. If you forget Joshua and Timothy, just know that that is the new School of Theology. So those of you registered for Bachelor of Divinity or any other divinity studies, that will be your building. This university always picks in a collaborative manner a verse from the Bible that speaks to the season that we are in. And for the next 12 months, we'll be focusing our minds on Psalm 31, verse 24, which says, "Be strong, take heart, all you who hope in the Lord." I think if you forget everything else, please don't forget that verse. In case you face a feast challenge, in case you get an emotional challenge, in case things are not working very well for you, then fix your minds on that scripture. Remain strong and take heart. We are going through the COVID-19 pandemic, and I've never seen the chaplain of this university share as many emails as he's done. Almost every other week, every week, we've received 2 or 3 emails reporting a death somewhere. We've lost especially close relatives, and I know there are many more, so we are asking you to be strong. But as we do this, we should never forget the vision of St. Paul's University, as captured on the very first slide there. This is a university of academic excellence, guided by Christian principles, producing graduates in various fields for global service. There are 2 pillars of St. Paul's University. The first pillar is academic excellence. And when you think of academic excellence, we're not just talking about scoring A's in the classroom, but we're also including research, innovation, and also engaging with communities. Apart from that, the other pillar for St. Paul's University is spiritual formation. While you are here pursuing your academics, we will very intentionally take you through an intensive Christian program. Some of the courses that you'll do in class will take you to the Bible, the Christian Worldview course. We don't have too many. Some other universities have like 5, 6 courses, but at least here you'll have 1 or 2 courses. And this university is now revisiting the whole concept of integration of Christian faith and learning so that we can be able to understand the different areas of specialization from a Christian perspective. So don't just become a good academic, but also grow spiritually. We have already thanked you for choosing St. Paul's University, and we cannot stop thanking you. But I'm sure you will soon also thank us. This university has very nice facilities, whether you're talking about the Nakuru campus, for those who are joining us virtually, or the Machakos campus, or the Nairobi campus, or this headquarters of the University Limuru campus. I'm sure since you came here, you've not stepped on mud, isn't it? Unless you really want to play with mud, isn't it? All our roads are paved, our hostels look good, our classrooms are okay, our laboratories are well furnished, and we thank God for that. So we want to start by giving our commitment, and our commitment is that We want to provide to you quality, relevant, and holistic education. When the world transitions into the new normal of online teaching and learning, the continuing students, when they come back a few days from today, and those who are supporting you, will be glad to share with you about the St. Paul's story. There is no semester, there is no day when teaching was interrupted. We, by God's grace, have optimized online teaching and learning. And as I speak here, one of the things that you'll need to learn, and learn very fast, is how to use our technology, because we'll use it even this semester. Some of the courses you'll do, you'll not necessarily go to class to meet the lecturer, but you'll use your phones, your laptops, the screens around to engage. So we thank God that we've never been interrupted. We'd also want to produce a scholar who will be very, very effective in the workplace. I'll be mentioning some few things about this in a short while. As we move on, you'll be pleased to know that you are studying in the oldest university in Kenya. The history of St. Paul's spans back to 1874. But if you're to think of Limuru campus, where we are this morning, the first occupants of Limuru campus, those days, we used to call this St. Paul's Divinity School, and 1930 is not the other day. I'm sure even your parents were not born, isn't it? Even my parents were not born, so 1930 is not the other day. So the first building was done here in 1930. And by 1955, St. Paul's Divinity School was renamed St. Paul's Theological College, and owned by the Anglicans, the Presbyterians, and the Methodists. Thereafter, the Reformed Church joined in, and in 1994, NCCK joined the ownership of St. Paul's. Now, there's usually kind of misconception. The SCK Church, and honorably so, has a 50% stake at St. Paul's University. I don't want to mention the percentages for the rest. And some people think that St. Paul's is an SCK entity. It's true, but partially true. Seriously speaking, if you look at NCCK, the last partner there with a 10% stake, NCCK has 32 different denominations under it, the National Council for Churches in Kenya. So in total, we are talking about close to 4 plus 32, 36 different churches have a stake here. So feel comfortable. But we also respect the SCK. They were the initial owners, and they invited the rest of us to join. And for that, we respect them. This university was fully chartered by His Excellency Mwai Kibaki in the year 2007. As you continue, you'll have to understand some of these vocabularies like chartering. A fully chartered university is a university that is globally recognized. It has met all the standards required to offer different programs, and the degrees here, including certificates and diplomas, if you took them to any country in the world, when they check for accreditation, your certification or your certificate is fully recognized. You will never suffer in terms of when you're transitioning to the next level, looking for a job. I've already spoken to the ownership. Now, these churches, as listed there, do not come for any penny from us. They actually support our management and governance at their own costs. And they have also contributed to a good measure in developing the infrastructure. So this is, strictly speaking, a not-for-profit university. Every shilling that you pay is used to pay our bills, and if there is any surplus in any year, then it is plowed back to continue building the university. And at this point, I can say that as a student, please encourage your parent or your sponsor, not at any point to kind of complain about fees, because you can imagine those who are here in 1930, all the way up to a week ago when you had not come. It has taken many years to build St. Paul's to the level that it is. And you should be happy to contribute. I think in those of you doing your bachelor's degrees, within the 4 years or so that you'll be here, please make sure that you witness the building of the next infrastructure so that the next person who comes after you will enjoy some better services. This is the vision that I've already spoken to, and the next is the mission. If you are to think about the mission of St. Paul's, you can summarize it in 2 words. We exist to produce servant leaders. Servant leadership is a model of leadership that was developed and harnessed by our Lord Jesus Christ, where the leader is a servant. We in management and Senate do our best to exemplify this. Our staff also do their best to exemplify this, and we want you to emulate us and even become better servant leaders. So here we are not talking of a boss. You will see us interact as colleagues, and that's what we want to do. Our core values. When you think about core values, you're thinking about that which we believe in and that which we would want to espouse or to exemplify. Number 1 is ecumenism, from the word ecumenical, meaning we appreciate all Christian faiths and respect all denominations. But I want to put a rider here. If a denomination is cultic, then we wouldn't want you to get lost into a cult. And if you already got lost, we would want to work with you to come back. So we are not, strictly speaking, denominational, like the Kenya Methodist University, which is fully owned by the Methodist Church. It's not a bad thing, but here we're saying that we accommodate all Christian faiths. Professionalism. I would want you to develop to be the best professional, and for you to develop to be the best professional, then I should lead the way. From Monday to Thursday, the lecturers and staff here are supposed to dress officially. On Friday, if you're to follow our dress code, then we dress down. So you'll see us with those torn, are they torn? Jeans. Huh? But on Monday to Thursday, most probably you'll see me in a tie and a suit. Not because I really want, but it's because I'm expected to exemplify professionalism, integrity. That one is self-explanatory. St. Paul's University has systems to ensure that both staff and students maintain the highest levels of integrity. That is why if you cross that line, if you ever cross that line, you'll see us come very unapologetically, especially students who are caught cheating in exams. That one you just forget. My office signs off several letters suspending students. Of course, they appear before disciplinary, and in a university, please avoid those opportunities of facing the disciplinary committee, because things don't work very well. Be a man or woman of integrity. We believe in partnership. We have many partners I'll be mentioning later on. We also believe and subscribe to equity. Equity. I'm not talking of equality. I'm talking about equity. There's a difference there. When you think about equity, you're giving everybody the best opportunity to receive all the services and the privileges, giving the best opportunity. Then customer centrism. Sometimes we struggle a bit, but we are very intentional in making our customers feel as comfortable as they can be. I'll now move a little bit faster. Those are our campuses. We have a campus in Nairobi. By the way, this building, Church House in Nairobi, is owned by St. Paul's. We don't own it. It is ours. We have a campus it's located at the SEK Church Now it's directly opposite a brand new Shell petrol station as you drive into Machakos. If you find yourself in Machakos, please go to the library there. Enjoy the services there, because it's your university. If you find yourself in Nakuru, again in the SEK-owned facility, right in Nakuru city, now Nakuru is officially a city, please walk in there, introduce yourself, and enjoy our services there. And those students in those other campuses, when you are in Limuru, please confidently walk through the gate, show your ID card, and enjoy our services. All these campuses are synchronized. In a few minutes, I'll be talking about how the university is organized. So we have a central system where you're paying fees or sitting for an exam or looking at the curriculum. Whatever is taught in Machakos is taught at the same level in Nakuru and also in Limuru. Let me take time to introduce to you some of the top management and governance. This university is led by a chancellor. Now, the CEO of the university is a vice chancellor. The titular head is called the chancellor. This is the tradition across the world. You will be very lucky if you meet the chancellor, because she only comes to steer very specific assemblies and ceremonies. She is officially the head of the university, but she does not come every morning. If she comes too many times, then it will be 3 or 4 times in a year. For now, our chancellor is Honorable Professor Margaret Kobia. She's the cabinet secretary for which ministry? Or you no longer care about politics? Honorable Professor Margaret Kobia is a professor on her own right in matters management. She is the CS of Public Service and Gender, a very polished academic and a very good Christian. The university management is managed also by a university council. A council is more of a board, and our council here is chaired by His Grace the Archbishop of the Anglican Church, the Most Reverend Dr. Jackson Olesapit. For you to be a university council chair in this country, there is one condition. You must be a holder of a Doctor of Philosophy, a PhD. So the Archbishop of the Anglican Church, who holds a PhD from the University of Reading in UK, a very humble man of God, is the one that chairs council meetings. All the discussions and suggestions are eventually taken before a council that approves or advises us accordingly. I'm sure you'll see him because he comes every quarter for meetings here. The CEO and Vice Chancellor of St. Paul's University is the Reverend Professor James Henry Owino Kombo. At some point, he will be able to address you, probably not during orientation, but he's the overall manager. He's the principal, if you have to think of the high school version of it. Of course, he doesn't walk around with a whip. But you'll notice him. He's a very humble man of God. Those who have brothers and sisters who have gone to St. Daystar University, he was the Deputy Vice Chancellor there for 15 years. He served Daystar for 25 years. So a very seasoned biblical scholar. That one is the guy speaking. I'm one of the Deputy Vice Chancellors. We have 2 deputies. You remember your deputy principal? Or you don't want to remember? By the way, I was once a deputy headmaster, so I know how to whip people properly, but not in a university. In a university, we have 2 deputy vice chancellors. I'm in charge of academic research and student affairs. Then my counterpart is Reverend Dr. Zabulon Bundi. Dr. Bundi deals with all financial and administration matters. So if there's water shortage, if the showers are not producing hot water, please ask Dr. Bundi and his team. They'll be able to help. Then now, allow me to introduce to you our 3 faculties. Faculties, in other universities, they call them schools. Our faculty usually has several departments put together. They are very similar in terms of the areas of specialization. And here at St. Paul's, we have three faculties. The first and the mother of all is the Faculty of Theology, currently spearheaded by the Reverend Professor Daifas Chemorion. Daifas Chemorion is a graduate of the University of Stellenbosch in South Africa, a very seasoned scholar. And the head of department for now is the Reverend Dr. Julius Kifinji. There are two major departments, and there's a third one now being domiciled here, but sooner or later it will be hived off. Those of you who are invited to study Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Health Systems, and Health Records, and Clinical Medicine, this is your faculty for now, but we'll soon smoke you out and carve out and form a School of Health Sciences. Then Dr. John Muhoho, I would ask you, sir, to stand up and greet your people. Thank you, thank you. Dr. John Muhoho is the Dean Faculty, it's very mouthful, Business, Communication, and Computer Science. He works together with 4 or 5 heads of departments. Dr. Anjiko Kinyambi, madam, please stand up and greet our professionals. That's how a lady looks when she has a PhD. Dr. Anjiko Kinyanjui is a very well-seasoned scholar, obtained her PhD from the University of Nairobi. Then those of you who have joined us to study communication, there are 2 heads of department, Dr. Faustine Chengombe in the Nairobi campus, and Ms. Susan Mwangi. Actually, I should be calling her doctor. She has already defended her PhD, but we are waiting for her graduation. Then we use the DR. Mr. Eric Siele in the Nairobi campus for business, and Mr. Samuel Karoga is currently the head of computer studies. This is the largest faculty, although the Faculty of Social Sciences is now threatening to become the largest, because from the admissions, we received 895 students from government that will be under him. And so that's the next faculty, the Faculty of Social Sciences. This is where education is domiciled. We do not yet have a full-scale Department of Education for Management, but it has been approved that in the next few weeks, you will be talking about the Department of Education, those of you who have come to study education. But for now, you will be served by Dr. Petronila Otuya and Madam Mary Ann Mwangi, even the Nairobi campus. And the boss of that faculty is Dr. Suleiman Mwangi. Suleiman Mwangi has a PhD in music. Then we have directorates. The first directorate is the Open Distance and E-Learning, currently being spearheaded by Madam Grace Kinyanjui. And those of you coming to study for Masters and PhD, you'll be meeting Dr. Julius Kahutia, who is the director for the postgraduate Board of Postgraduate Studies. Then for all of us in research and innovation, we have Dr. Daniel Zenja. And registry, I'm sure you've interacted with the registry staff. Currently, the acting registrar is Dr. Ruth Danu Kingo, a very young lady, under 40, but already with a PhD. Madam Masigashia is away. She should be joining us later in the semester. And then the library is a very, very important stop for you. I know that if you are really good in technology, these days you may think that you can avoid the library. But still, please find time to sit and make use of our library resources. We have a very powerful library team led by Madam Irene Kibande. And the Dean of Students is the Reverend Dr. Joseph Mutei. I'm sure he will address you on student matters. I'm almost done with the introductions. I opted also to, in absentia, introduce you to some of our managers. The manager in charge of finance is Mr. Wallace Njao. The manager in charge of audit and risk management is Mr. Gaston Omondi. Our human resources manager is Lucy Gekeri. And our deputy registrar administration is a lawyer by profession, Mr. James Mururi. Of course, one of the managers who is here is Mr. Michael Mungai. He's in charge of corporate affairs and he's done a great job with his team and we're glad. We have several collaborations and partnerships. While at St. Paul's, we would want you to engage, not just with Kenyans, but also engage beyond the boundaries. And some of the universities, this list is not exhaustive, that we've worked well with is the Kempten University of Applied Sciences in Germany, Drexel University in USA. In the last 2 semesters, our students have shared classes, online classes with Drexel University students in the US. We have MBF that is very, very strong in supporting the nursing program. Then we have OCA that mainly has supported theology, USA that has provided multi-million research grants. The Emory University is one of the oldest partnership, and Hanyang University in Korea. Some of you should start preparing to go to Korea not too long from now. I think I'll make sure that you don't just remain in Kenya. So look for a passport because we'll soon take you out to engage. As soon as COVID eases, we should be able to move. We have very nice facilities. We can move a little bit faster to save on time because you'll be using these facilities sooner or later. And now you're officially part of approximately 6,000 students that are associated with St. Paul's University. In every semester, there would be a group that is out, but in total, we have more than 5,000 students actively involved, but stand to be counted. Now, this is the last part of my presentation. I'll speak to it. Before I look at what I'm calling the 3 T's, one of the changes, one of the benefits that you already have this morning is that for the first time, your father, your mother, your uncle will no longer be responsible for you. For the first time in your life, you're in school and there will be no bell. Nobody will ring a bell to tell you it's break time. Nobody will tell you what to wear. Of course, we expect you to dress decently. Nobody will train you on how to use your money. Some people have become broke in the first 2 weeks. Some people have been conned by their roommates, etc., etc. So as a university student, for the first time in your life, you're now officially over 18. You're what? An adult. The person seated next to you or behind you will manage themselves moving forward. It's a fresh start. And it comes with responsibilities. It comes with responsibility. In other universities, many years ago, when I was an undergraduate student, I don't want to say when, we were doing undergraduate for 3 years. By the time we got to second year, one time we were waiting for a lecture, an education lecture. I'm an educationist. And somebody joked and said, look around us, all direction except upwards, you'll see a pregnant woman. And we literally did so. And it was actually true. There was an outbreak of pregnancy, if I'm to call it that. And you can imagine a 19-year-old who can hardly afford pocket money carrying a baby. And the second year, third year student, who is the father, is actually a hustler. I think some of those people really suffered. Not I think, they really suffered. Even completing the undergraduate was such a major, major challenge. I wouldn't want to invite you to follow in their footsteps. Please take care of your emotions. I know there are many hormones flowing. Others starting with T, others starting with E, others starting with A. Those of you who did biology very well can name those hormones. But one of the things you need to manage as a university student is your hormones. Please manage them. This newfound freedom is very dangerous. Before I came to St. Paul's University, I was a professor at the Technical University of Kenya. And I was teaching a fourth-year course called epidemiology, and there were 16 students in my class. It was not a big class, so the happy me would engage with them, not just in matters science, but also in matters life. Actually, there are many times when you finish class and we went for a cup of tea and I paid it. And there are many occasions I took a class to a Java for lunch, just to fellowship. But I asked one day, how is your life? The 16 of them. And the men looked at me and said, life is very tough. Some of us wake up at 5. We live in Kibra. And one of them shared and said, we actually live 8 of us in a small mud-walled house. So I asked them, if you're living 8 of you in a small mud-walled house, how is life? And they described how they roll their mattresses, how they prepare meals, and asked them, how do you manage the budget? And they said, we are experts in budget management. If anybody does not contribute, we kick him out. This is a true story. Then I told them, okay, sorry, don't worry, just work hard. This is a transition period. But before we continue with the epidemiology for the day, I asked, how about the girls? And all of them waved at me and said, please don't ask. Please don't ask. If our parents knew the life we are living here, they will be so shocked. I hope that is not true for St. Paul's University. Even if your wallet is very thin, at least there are better ways of managing life. Let's not go to the extremes that I don't want to speak about. So enjoy your freedom. I want to speak to the ladies, first years. From what I've seen, if you miss a husband in your undergraduate, you really struggle to get one after. That is the truth. But if you get one in first year, you'll also really struggle to take care of him. So by third year, please, tafuta njoroge wako or wafula wako, and ask them, it's not just on WhatsApp, now it's serious business. Let's go to the priests, and you can see there are many reverends, including Reverend Keriene, who is allowed by the government of Kenya to pronounce you as husbands and wives. I'm serious about it. Because very good Christian women miss out opportunities to get married when in college. Then later on, after age 40, you're not too sure what to advise them. Later on, the mature women in the house, please forgive me, you start having very serious fibroids and other biological challenges. And God forbid, if you go to an OBS-GYN and ask them, so how do I sort the fibroids? What is the constant answer? Get a baby. But how do you get a baby and you're a praise and worship leader in Deliverance Church is Lee? Sometimes it's a very difficult calculation. Life is real. Life is real. Let's not pretend just because we're in a Christian university that we can wish away some things. So prayerfully and wisely make sure. My father-in-law keeps telling me, in life is like droughts. I don't know if that is the right pronunciation. This game we play with some bottle tops. Make sure every piece is moving, okay? At any point. Don't just move the academic. I'm sure you're adults, you're getting what I'm saying. But don't move them too fast, they may be eaten if they're alone. So seek wisdom and talk to us, we are your parents. So as you think about it, those of you who have come from needy families, please, history will not help you much. History will not help you much. Self-pity will not take you anywhere. If some of us gave you the stories of where we came from, you'd think it's a horror movie. But we've learned to forget about the past and look to where we are going. 3-4 years down the line, life will be very different for you. So this is a transition. So don't be so much fixated with, I don't have that. And don't compete. And those of you who are a little bit endowed, please don't put too much pressure on us. Don't keep placing your phones on tables so that my Mulika Mwizi looks like it's not a phone. But if you do that, a few years from today, I'll place the keys of my Mercedes-Benz on the table. Then we'll compete. So this is just a transition. If somebody ever scares you, tell them, give me 3-4 years, I'll catch up. And the best way to catch up is to study. While there are many more T's I could have thought about, I want you to know that the main reason as to why you are here is to be trained. And we want you to be trained in 5 different ways. The first one is that you should be able to accumulate knowledge. I know in 2020, before Corona came, I stood on this podium to speak about employability based on the research done on what employers look for. And one of the things that employers look for is knowledge in your area of specialization. If you're doing a Bachelor of Business Administration, can you assure us that before you graduate, you will have sufficient knowledge in that area? Please build your abilities and talents. And apart from that, ensure that you have the skills. There's no way you can be invited here to do computer information systems, and yet when you're given a computer, you can't be able to use it. It will be a big shame. And in the world of computing, those of you in computing, there are many, many free resources, and even in the other specializations. So you don't necessarily need to wait for the lecturer to come. My son, who is also a university student, was telling me the other day of his classmate, they studied Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, who already got a job for 1.3 million salary. He's a medical student, but he took his time to learn software development. And he's a 5th-year student with my son. And he's already been employed, not just to practice medicine, but to do software development. So there are things that you can learn beyond your area of specialization using online resources. You must be seen to be competent in whatever you are trained in. Competence means you can literally do and produce results. It goes without saying that in the new normal, we must become technologically competent. In a previous university that I served, we used to take all communication students. Actually, in one of the universities I served, every student, that is Baraton University, every Baraton University student had to take a course called keyboarding. It was the most unpopular course because people were taught how to type professionally, the way professional secretaries do. They would complain, but later on they came back and said, thank you. I'm able to type not with my index finger only, but with all my 10 fingers. I hope we can be able, to start a keyboarding training for people to know how to type. How to use the learner management systems, you'll definitely use them. Grace and Wanjuru and others will be training you. How to communicate formally. There is the informal sharing and other languages, but there's a formal communication, which you really must know how to engage. Because that formal communication is that which you'll use in the workplace. I want you from today to that's why you're here. But now you can take the liberty to forget about that grade. Now, fresh targets. Set fresh targets. As you sit there, all of you in certificate and diploma can graduate with a distinction. All of you in undergraduate can graduate with first-class honors. It's you who will spoil if you have to. But I want to invite you to challenge your parent and your sponsor. If they ever thought that a sibling or a neighbor or a relative who is better than you, this is the time to prove them wrong. Right from the first lecture to the first quiz and CAT and exam, get the best that you can. Please set your goals and targets and seek to achieve them and possibly exceed those expectations. We'll be so happy to come back later and congratulate you having passed and even exceeded your own expectations. And then soon after, we invite you for masters, or we recommend you to move on to another institution if you really must move on, but I'm sure by that time you'll be convinced to stay on. Those of you who are registered for certificate and diploma, please don't plan to leave St. Paul's. We'll only allow you to go after you get your first degree. The challenge is you'll take a long time to go through orientations and other formalities. And by the time you move out of this university and join another one, you're not bad-mouthing them. You'll discover you left the best. Some universities only have one thing right, a very beautiful gate and a wall to attract you as you pass. But when you get inside, things are very different. For our university, we have both a very beautiful gate and a very nice organized university. I am in charge of academic affairs, and I can speak with confidence that what we offer here is benchmarked internationally. The other thing you will notice, and I invite you to Google before end of day, our fees is among the lowest in this country. It's among the lowest. Many universities that charge double what we charge. So please, let's put that money that is paid to the best use. Let's use these facilities the best way possible. If there is any challenge, we have a very vibrant student body. Your President Gabriel Uching is my good friend. We have all these ladies and gentlemen and many more that will come to your classroom. Please don't get lost while you are here. This is a Christian university. We'll treat you with respect. Please find time to worship, find time to pray, find time to read your Bible, find time to fellowship with others, find time to make new friends. And while you are here, find time to go for field trips. And when opportunities come, please find time even to fly out of this country before you finish the studies that you came for. I know I've taken a lot of time, but once again, a very warm welcome to St. Paul's, and I want to wish you the best. Thank you very much, Reverend Karina.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Ngure, the DVC-AA, St. Paul's University. I told you by the time he finishes, you will feel right at home. Don't you feel better now? You do? Thank you. So thank you so much once again. Of course, a very elaborate orientation presentation. And we always say that we only present with you or to you the tip of the iceberg. You know, we are provoking you to know where to go, who to talk to during this orientation. It is a long process that you will keep learning throughout the semester, and we are going to try and make it as easy and as efficient and comfortable as we possibly can so that you get to settle the soonest. So thank you once again for finding time and being here. I want to do two things. One, I will start where he ended about technology. And you'll have an opportunity tomorrow to listen to a presentation by a government program called Ajira Digital Program. Have you heard about Ajira? Yeah. Kwani mnatoka wapi nyinyi? Hata online huko hamjasikia maneno ya ajira. So make sure you listen in and join that club. It's a club we are starting where you will learn how to take even jobs abroad when you're seated here, learning, or when you're in the comfort of your house. Sawa sawa. That session will be tomorrow. But I want to ask a few questions. I want to know whether, and I want that if I could have the items here. I want to know whether you are concentrating. So I want to ask a question. If you get my question, the answer to the question, I have some goodies from PR, the Public Relations and Marketing Office, that I could give. So let me hear. Who can tell me the year St. Paul's University was chartered? The BBC has just done that presentation. The first hand was that one. The year 1930, not correct. The lady in the dotted white. Sorry? 2007, it is not bad. It is correct. So thank you very much, appreciate her. Thank you. So she will benefit a t-shirt from St. Paul's. You have been promised these goodies by the PR in January, sindio? Lakini si askize venye ziko kwanza. Kia material, madam. Sawa? Haya. The second question, I want to know whether you listen to the DVC when presenting. Now, how many trustees own St. Paul's University? Yes, the first hand up. 4. Okay. How many? The second hand up. 5. Before umpige makofi, haezi jua tu namba, nipatie moja. Sorry? The Anglican Church of Kenya amejishindia material ingine. Mpigeni makofi. Now, I don't know whether I should continue with that for trustees. I know sasa mmekimbia kujua. Now, the DVC has just talked about the core values of St. Paul's University. How many did he talk about? Core values. Yes, sir? 2. Okay? Wewe umepata t-shirt, wacha maneno mingi wewe. Si utosheke hiyo moja. Yes? Sorry? 3. 6. It is correct. 6 core values. All right? So for just getting the number, he will get a magazine, St. Paul's University magazine, the current one. Mpigieni makofi. But I want to hear of the 6. Nipate moja. Yes? Ecumenism. Ecumenism. I have another magazine for that ecumenism here. Another core value. The lady at the middle. Sorry? Equity. She will from now on write using a St. Paul's University pen. Branded. Wewe unacheka na hauna. Unacheka na hauna. Branded. Simanavi kwa sawa. Equity. We have ecumenism, equity. Yes, yes, sir. Sorry? Integrity. Mpigieni makofi. Hata wewe shika kalamu yako iko. Integrity, the other one, there were 6. There was a yellow, yes. Professionalism. Mpigieni makofi, kwani mnaona kama amekosea? Haya, apewe baile yake. The other one, 2 more, right? Yes, sir. Customer centrism. Haya, apigiwe makofi. Tumemaliza. We've talked about ecumenism. There is one more. There is one more, and I can even wewe simepata Bible tu za hivi. Na unataka
Santi. Karibuni St. Paul's. Now, ICT is one of the most critical departments that we have had in the recent past because of the COVID issues. And we are among very few universities that have managed to navigate without closure, as the DVC has said. We have managed to offer all our services from teaching to booking everything online. So I'll present very briefly what we have at ICT. And ICT is in all our campuses. In all our campuses, Nakuru, Machakos, Nairobi, Limuru, we have ICT officers there. And our ICT offices have an open door policy. So when you have an issue, you walk into our offices, but also I'll provide the emails that you can write to us. I'm also assuming that all of us now have our email addresses. Our email addresses are quite simple. Your student number at spu.ac.ke. And how you access that email is that you go to Gmail and you type that, for example, you say BBIT 1441 2021 at SPU. Then the password that you have been given is a one-time password, which you change to use. So I'll present briefly what you have at the ICT department. So the ICT is an enabler of change. And as said, we try as much as possible to innovatively use ICT in the university. That is why you can see we have more than 4 locations where people are logged in. That is, within this campus, we have more than 4 locations where we have over 600 students who are logged in. Across other campuses, we have students who are logged in Nairobi and other campuses, and also we have people who are logged in at home. And that is what we call innovative use of technology. Next. Now, we have several systems that we interact with in the university. And the first one is what we call the ELP system. Now, the ELP system is where you shall find most of your items, the timetable for the course, the units that you have registered for, the units that you have booked, and other information that pertains to your course. The partial transcript of what you have scored, and therefore, this is a system that you shall be logging in frequently. And to get it, you usually type www.students.spu.ac.ke. So the ELP is where all the registered units are. It's where the timetable for the classes are. It's where you shall get your results from. So that is the system where you log in to find most of the student services. Now, for students who are in Limuru, we have Cyber Cafe here in the Student Center, the other side. So if you don't have a laptop or you can't access your services or you want to use cyber services, you go there. Across our campuses, our labs are open for students all the times. So you can easily go into the labs and you're able to access our services. And they're free for students. And therefore, we request that you present us with a student ID so that we can know who we are admitting to our labs, such that when we leave you there, we know who we are leaving in our labs. Now, in the Limuru campus, we have labs in all our campuses, but I'll simply mention the ones that we have here. We have a building called Bishop Magua. The other side, we have a lab there, first floor, which can occupy over 60 students. We have Century Building, the building across the field where you came for registration. We have computer labs there, 2 of them. We have postgraduate lab in the postgraduate building. We have a lab in the library and other places. But across our campuses, in Nairobi, we have 4 laboratories for those who are online and joining Nairobi campus. In Machakos, we have a lab which is manned by Bosco Murwa, and we have labs in Nakuru. So in all our campuses, we have places where students can access computer services. And as you have noted that we have very strong wireless connection in our campuses, across our campuses. So and we're continuously improving them. So you don't have to go to a facility to access the computer services. You can easily log in your phone. You'll be given what you call a single sign-on. The password that you'll be given for getting into the ELP is a password that you shall use for wireless facilities that requires a password. But for most of them, like in the open areas, we leave them open because we know by the time you get to the gate, you have used your ID, and therefore they're serving only our students. And that is it to do with wireless internet. All open spaces, we call them kamukunjis, we very soon find that they have wireless connectivity. In terms of access to the technology, one of the areas that I would implore that you join is what we call Spitzer Club or the ICT clubs. They're domiciled in the campuses, but we still also have them coordinated across. And these are not open to only ICT students. We prefer to have from theologians, social scientists, educationists joining these computer clubs. They're very good for experiences. We usually have hackathons, the areas for training. If you want to know how to use all these technologies that we have, you get an opportunity of using them from those environments. So always when you want to use our ICT facilities, please identify yourself, it's important. We don't allow drinking and eating in the computer labs or the cyber, so if you want to eat first, eat, then you come back. Don't carry your snacks there. It's just a matter of etiquette. Please leave a computer in a perfect condition that you found it, and in case you find that it is not functioning, kindly inform people who man the labs. Usually we have two kinds of people who man the labs. We have the volunteers or the interns. We have students who will volunteer, and most of them are the ones who are now serving us here. And then we have the internship, which are paid opportunities for those who will be interned, but you also have staff members who are manning the facilities. And in case of theft, you consult the ICT and security. In case you find your laptop has been stolen, don't keep quiet. We have CCTV cameras around, so you consult with security and ICT, and we'll be able to assist and refer you to the next course of action. So all SPU staff and students are on Google Apps. And therefore, if you have a phone that is Android or a phone that is able to use Google services or Google Workspaces, you'll be able to get it. So we only communicate with students through the SPU email. For first years, currently we'll allow you to use your other emails. But the moment your email has been activated, all communications, and I mean all communications, must be sent through the SPU email. Don't use your other emails because you need traceability. You need to know who we're communicating to. And because our SPU emails are just basically your student number, when you send an email, you not ask you what is your student number, what is your campus, the rest will follow because it is able to tell us much about you, and you're able to log in and see whether that change that you have asked for has been effected in your system, and that will really help us. So the students' emails, how many of us have student emails? How many have been able to log into those emails? How many are unable to log into those emails? Don't keep quiet. Let's meet on the 10th and we'll be able to sort you out. The one-time password should be activated. It takes some time because of the numbers, but we should be able to be activated by now. So the opportunities for work study and internship in ICT, the opportunities to volunteer. So when we announce for those opportunities, when you say that we want people to assist students to register, after a few years will become a veteran, be willing to volunteer. I have good examples of someone like Apollo. Just raise your hands. Apollo has been my student for years, and he has been a volunteer. Now he's like a staff member. He has worked here, and he knows everything out. And he's one who has been settling these things up in all locations, ensuring that the wireless is working, ensuring that everything is working. And that is good for us because we can see the fruits of our work. So when the chances come for volunteering, kindly volunteer, and kindly let us know if you need assistance. And these ICT clubs are not only open for computer scientists or IT students. Join whichever course, certificate, diploma, everything. Just come to ICT club and you'll be able to learn more about technologies that you cannot be able to learn in class. So for student ICT support, the email is icthelpdesk@spu.ac.ke. When you send an email to that email address saying that you have a problem, it goes to more than 5-6 offices, and it's able to be received by more than 15 people who will be able to assist you, whether you have registration issues, registry issues. When you have all other issues that you need to communicate to, write to ICT help desk, and you'll be able to get that help. And that's the reason why we need you to use your student number, so that when you use your student number, you can be able to know who is asking for help, which campus does he belong to, which course, and that help can be offered to you effectively. The use of ICT facilities are free. All our facilities, even if you call it a cyber, it's free. You just get in with your ID and you get assisted and use the facility. For those who want to do distance learning, those who learn using the Odell mode, if you're a distance learning student, though you like to ICT help desk, but make sure that you copy the distance learning email so that you can be able to be assisted. Distance learning students, mainly they do their studies from home and they come here from occasion to occasion, and that is the email address where they'll be able to send their work. We welcome people. When you have challenges in the Limuru campus, there's a building there called Bishop Magwa. We have 2 ICT offices. We have the first floor office and the second floor office. When you go to the second floor office, you'll meet very competent officers, Apollo, James, and they'll be able to assist you. So you have, like, for example, those who cannot be able to access their emails, resetting emails, ICT Bishop Magwa building, the topmost floor, you'll be able to find the ICT officers, which has quite a number of people there. We'll be able to assist you. Feel free to walk into our offices. For those who are in other campuses, Nairobi, go to 4th floor, Machakos, Nakuru, go to our campuses in case you have challenges. Don't stay for a week or 2 and saying that I can't submit my assignment because my laptop can't work. I can't submit my assignment because my phone can't work. We'll help you solve those problems promptly. So make use of our ICT facilities. Use them effectively and also use them responsibly. Help us to report facilities that are not working. Don't find that our wireless port is hanging and almost falling, especially those who are staying on campus. We usually provide wireless facilities in the hostels. If it's not working, talk to your hostel warden or such, then we'll be able to help you. Let's all protect our facilities. Let's all use them effectively. Let's all use them responsibly, and we'll be able to serve us better. Enjoy your time in this university, and in case you have a problem, write to us through ICT Help Desk. And in case you have questions that you want to ask us, I can take a few questions if you have questions about ICT facilities or such, or you can be able to send them to ICT Help Desk. Thank you very much. That is our presentation. One or 2 questions for people who... The other thing is that I also teach at the Department of Computer Science. So if you have challenges in computer science, you still can visit us in those facilities and be able to assist you. Computer science, IT, people doing BEd science, IT and such. Thank you very much. If you want to change your password, you see Apollo. But if there's what we call self-care. Self-care is, you'll find it in the student portal. You go and type www.student.spu.ac.ke and you want to change, for example, your password. There's what we call the self-care. Self-care.spu.ac.ke. It'll be able to give you steps. Then the password will be sent to you through whatever means that will be provided. We are still working on it so that it can be able to be sending us messages via our phones for resetting our passwords. Passwords that we give are one-time passwords. So you use it once, then you go and reset it to the right password. But ensure that you use your strong password. A strong, but a password you can remember. The reason why we say strong is because currently you're doing much of our work online. Your results will go online. Your fee structure will go online. And we shall come back later to train you on how to be able to protect your personal spaces. Don't log into public spaces and you leave your St. Paul portal on. Of course, it will log out after some few minutes, but between those 2 minutes, someone can be able to do harm on your work. Any other question? Thank you for reminding us on that. Any other question on ICT related computer science? So for those who have not activated their emails, or not to be able to access their email, it will be the most critical thing that you need, because we have 2 kinds of running management systems. And I need to mention them now. We have a learning management system that we call the V-learning or the virtual learning. You'll find that some of our classes, because of the COVID situation, will be online. And therefore, you require your student number and your access to that. So the password that you'll be given will be able to help you to access the V-learning portal. Now, the V-learning portal is supported by IT, but the content is uploaded by your lecturers. It's like any other normal class. You can see that now we have live stream. You can also be able to get us physically. So you'll have classes that you'll have this kind of a setup, where the lecturer is teaching you, and maybe some of the colleagues are online. Ensure that you go to that V-learning portal. Even for classes that you're doing face-to-face, the content is usually put in that portal online. And that will ensure that you can be able to get all your content. And even uploading your cards and your assignments, usually it's done through that portal. As you have heard, you have been able to offer exams in 3 semesters that COVID has been there, effectively to over 5,000 students. Our exams are done through that portal. So familiarize yourself, because that portal is well timed. If the exam is 30 minutes, after 30 minutes, you'll be done. It will shut off. You cannot be able to log in and submit an assignment. And also, we also get to know your attendance of classes. If you come and say, I've been coming to this class, but I'm not able to see the card, because attendance is key for you to sit for an exam. I'll be able to show you the days that you logged in and where you logged in from. So familiarize yourself with how to use those learning management tools. And in case you have challenges, let us know. In ICT, you have an open door policy, just walk in. Thank you very much. Over to you, Reverend Kirene.
Thank you. Let us appreciate Dr. Karanja. Asante sana. So was that helpful? It was helpful. Yeah, the details that ICT gave you, that is your life here. Your email, how to access your portal. If you have, because we are using blended method of learning, virtual and face-to-face, you need to know how to access your work virtually and all that. So stay alert and do not listen, wait to be told by others. Ati hivi ndo tunafanya, hapa ndo tunaenda. No, the information is sent to every student in the portal. Wacha kwenda kila wakati kuuliza watu ati tuko na class leo. You will be lost, my friend. Okay? Because mwenye unauliza, kwani yeye amekuwa staff na mlikuja na yeye? Kwani nimeongea vibaya? Nime-withdraw hiyo statement. But ni ukweli, yeye hajakuwa staff na mlikuja na yeye, isn't it? You came together, the information, wherever he is accessing or she is accessing information from, is the same place you should access information from. You need to be proactive. Don't wait for your friends to wake you up. Ati Stacy, unajua tuko na class leo, ati haya, hata sijaoga. You need to be focused with what you're doing here. Are we together? Then mara moja unasahau, unapata umesahau hata stocking iko kwa kichwa. Your friends are the ones telling you, pale kwa gate wanakwambia, unashangaa ni nini ni nywele yangu anatamani ama ni nini? So you're here to study, make that your priority. Are we together? Make that your priority. You know, first things first. Your studies, your timetable, your virtual learning portal, your account, your email, those are the things that matter. And by Monday, Tuesday, next week, you should be settled on those. Totally settled. I have my email running. I can access my virtual learning portal. I can access my students' account. You know, I am able to even go to the library online, because those sessions will be done here between today and tomorrow, online. Listen, learn. And if you don't know, kuuliza sio nini, sio jinga, stop someone on the corridors and ask them. I was told that the library is this direction. I can't find it. Inaweza kuwa ilihama usiku. They will tell you. In fact, I have found asking very helpful. Even in the supermarket. Someone walks into the supermarket and 30 minutes later, they cannot find shoe polish. After 30 minutes, ndo anauliza attendant, na shoe polish inakuwa gapi? Anaambiwa nyuma yake. What if they came in and asked straightforward, shoe polish inakuwa gapi? After 5 minutes, they would have left, isn't it? The same thing with here. We were told there are lecture halls. There is an amphitheater. Where is it? Sawa sawa. So make that sharp, be sharp, do things very fast, and get started very fast. And of course, I don't want to talk about the things that the DVC has talked about here. Your priorities matter. There are some people who will not be able to free themselves from the freedom now they have. The DVC has said, now you don't have your parent or your guardian ringing a bell on you. Amuka uende wapi? Haujaosha vyombo. Usipoosha vyombo hakuna mwenye anakuoshea. Unaingia tu kwa nyumba unapata ziko pale. So you need to be able to manage yourself time-wise. You find people miss classes. If you don't get the threshold for physically or attending your classes for attendance, you don't do your exams. Or you miss out on coursework. You miss out on your coursework. Even if you do your exam, the course is incomplete. You had paid for money. You lose that money another time, pay for the full amount, and redo those units. And I'm sure your parents or whoever is paying for you is struggling. And outside the academic circles, wewe sijui ni wale wanaita sijui gwinji siku hizi, wanawaita aje? Bazu. Wewe ni bazu, wendo kusema ati kila mtu akitaka kujua mahali watu wanaweza enda kunywa pombe. Umeuliza nani? Karaoke. Uliza Peterson. Utakuwa na fame, but by the end of your course utabaki peke yako. Are we together? If drinking is not normal to you, do not normalize it here because you have the opportunity. If sex is not normal to you, of course I'm not saying that sex is abnormal, but don't normalize it because you have the freedom here. Because the decisions, Behati told you here, the decisions you make, they also make you. You've got to remain focused. The things that you think about and think about, you bring about. The things that you spend time on are the main things that make you. Priorities. Of course, mnajua mimi ni reverend. Sasa mimi naona washirika tu. Nataka kuambia ukweli. But let me tell you something. That is the truth. What you invest time in is what you're able to get back. Are we together? Priorities, priorities, priorities. You're here for your studies. Focus with those studies. But we are saying you have to be all-rounded, not just academics. Beyond the four walls, we have sports. We have clubs. We take students out to universities every weekend to either debate clubs, to go do sports, football, soccer, basketball, volleyball. Join one of those. Be an all-rounded person if you can. Of course, for mature students, I know there's a challenge of balancing family and all that, but take that opportunity. Mental troubles is real nowadays because of how things have been very difficult. So if you're triggered by kitu kidogo, ulikosa fee ama nini, it's very easy to slip down and find yourself in depression or something. Don't allow yourself to go there. Engage yourself in other activities. So library, give it its time. The four walls of the classroom, of course, give it its time. But we have open fields here. We have indoor games here. We have a gym here. We have barabara kukimbia. Of course, you're discouraged by those who say that there's a Bible verse that tells people that you will run without a purpose. So it discourages people from jogging. Ati unasema ni punishment ya Mungu juu ya dhambi. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Sawa sawa. But make your physical, mental, spiritual, psychological health a priority also. If you are a Christian before you came here, remain one. Unapologetically so. Acha kusema sasa, you know, I've seen you people for many years. Unakuja hapa na dress mzuri, skirt, suit, nini. Lakini after a few orientations, the skirt keeps becoming shorter and shorter. Lakini unajua ni material baya ulinunua inakaa ikishiringi. Inashuka, inapanda. And you start getting into disciplinary here. You will find yourself in disciplinary because we have that code of conduct you signed has a dress code as well, how you're supposed to dress yourself. But the surprising thing is, wanavaa hizo zenye zina shrink Monday to Thursday. Friday, ukiona mtu akienda nyumbani amevaa long dress inaguza hadi matope, anaenda anashikia hivi, anaenda nyumbani. Why live the double standard life? Why? Ati ukienda kwa wazazi wewe ni mtu mwingine, ukikuja hapa wewe ni huyo tumeambiwa anaitwa Zuba. Oh sorry, Bazu. So I beg you, and you know, why must you learn from your mistakes? Learn from other people's mistakes and make your life better. We tell you this because we are here where we are. We've been here. We have seen people come and get lost. So if we tell you tumetembea hapa na tunajua kuna shimo, don't go this route. Why should you insist on going that route? Learn very fast. Adjust yourselves very fast. By the end of your course, you will enjoy that you took time here, spent your time here, made healthy relationships, like the ones that the Deputy Vice Chancellor talked about. Healthy relationships. You will have succeeded academically, you will have succeeded with your physical health. Wacha na wale wanaweka ile meme ya I want to start eating healthy from now. But also on the other side unasema, what is wrong with treating myself once in a while? So you find yourself in that dilemma. No, work on your health, physical health, mental health, work on your academics, be an all-rounded person. St. Paul's University is just the right place for you. And I'm the one in charge of sports in the university. If you play darts, come tell me, give me a board and some darts. If you want to play table tennis, we have them. If you want to play board games, chess and Scrabble and what have you, and Monopoly, we have them. If you want to go outfield and play, we come ask for a ball and we will give you, go play. Join the university teams. In 2 weeks' time, we will start what we call Kenya University Sports Association Sports. The season will start from now to May. Join a team, participate in them. And we will be asking for biodata. But if you're interested, come to my office right here. And I'm talking to everyone, even those online. Come, get yourself involved in something. Anyway, that was not my session. Nimekunywa maji sasa nikapata nguvu. Kasema tu niongee. Munisamehe kama namna gani. Anyway, that's it. We are done with our session now. We are done with our session now. We will come back, not necessarily if you can connect. If you can connect virtually, you don't need to come back here. If you cannot connect, you can come back here. In the afternoon, we have a registry who will be talking to us. So just stay connected. Don't use the Google Meet. Use the live stream. If you are able to connect to your SU account, you will be able to connect to the live stream. If you're able to do that, so that we give those who have issues with their SU accounts an opportunity to come and sit here and listen. But otherwise, we're going to break for lunch. You go enjoy your lunch from wherever you're eating it from. I know a couple of you are doing air burgers. So once the air burger is done, you will connect. The link is in your mail, not your mail, but there's a text we sent. But the link in the mail, the program we sent, please join using that link and you'll be able to follow all the orientation. Any question? Any question? I would like to remind you there are largely two spaces we are sitting in. There is this space here. There will be sound. You will follow. Of course, we might not have the video now going on, but we will have sound and the orientation going on. And we have the main hall as well. So wherever you choose to sit, you can sit if you're not able to connect using your own gadgets. All right, I think if there are no questions, then I think we will end the physical one-on-one face-to-face orientation here. When from the afternoon, we will continue virtually. Virtually means if you're able to connect from wherever you are with your gadget, even in your room, you can stay there. You don't have to come back here. But if you cannot connect, remember orientation is compulsory. You have to attend orientation. So if